Bluff City NIL is an official partner of Coaching for Literacy, a nonprofit organization using the power of sports to impact childhood literacy. You can read more about them at coachingforliteracy.org or follow them on social media at Coaching for Literacy. Your donations to Bluff City NIL are 100% tax deductible because of our partnerships together. So we thank you guys for supporting Memphis Tiger student athletes and helping promote the monumental cause of childhood literacy.
Welcome to Tigers Untapped, a Bluff City media podcast. Stepping up to the microphones are your hosts, Trey Lasley and TJ Willis. Pull up your chair, grab your favorite brew, and enjoy the conversation. Now, let's get to the show.
TJ, Dad, what is up, my man? We're back for another edition. TJ, you had an exciting weekend, didn't you?
I did. We had our second child. Came on Saturday, so this is like a celebratory podcast. And also,
congrats to the dad. First one as a father of two.
That's actually not true. I've had a beer already, but we're working with Wiseacre Air Bath. It's a session IPA
In honor of old little Willis lady born. Congrats to mom and dad.
Appreciate it, man. There's commitment here, right? I'm working off little fuel. Trey is miles and miles away from the
I'm coming to you guys live from the Sunshine State down here in Santa Rosa Beach, Florida. So vacation, new dads, still cranking out a podcast.
Yeah, man.
Wouldn't have it any other way.
It's that commitment, right?
Well, Tej, we got a commitment in the portal.
Shocked.
Well,
I mean,
I don't know that we're shocked that we got it. We thought it was coming, but maybe shocked it. That was the only one. There was another commitment, not to the Tigers, but from a Tiger hopeful, shall we say. Mr. Jaden Bradley committed to the Arizona Wildcats, unfortunately. We were not the highest bidder.
What are you going to do, right? I think that's a situation when a blue blood comes for you, you just kind of is what it is, right? They got different.
Are we just throwing that term around?
Arizona's pretty blue blood, right?
Are they?
Are they not in your world? Are you in your world? Are they not?
I don't think I'd call Arizona blue blood.
Well, let's look this up because
that's for your Carolina, your Duke, your Kentucky. You could throw Villanova in there, maybe.
Okay, so I was under the impression Arizona had won at least 4 tournament championships. They have not.
Yeah, they're not blue blood territory.
They're not. I really thought they were. I think it's just because they go all the time.
To your point.
They got money. Ain't no joke on that one.
I think they got the funds. And the funds is what Mr. Bradley was after.
Sure.
So, hey.
Who's to blame him?
You're not supposed to promise any NIL and recruitment. Arizona obviously promised him something. I hope he gets it. Because there's a lot of promises going around that aren't getting fulfilled, is my understanding. Do we have let me ask you this. I've seen you dabble in the Twitterverse around this. Do we have an NIL problem in Memphis?
Do we have a problem? I would say as a whole, the university as a whole, yes.
On the whole? It's a little Austin Powers humor.
In the whole, as a whole, yes. I think if you look at it from the grand scheme of, I think the number came out, what was it, 821,000, something like that.
Well, that was just from the 901 fund, right?
Sure. But take a look at that 901 fund. I'd like to know how that's divvied out, right?
Yeah, what's the breakdown between sports?
Is that Yeah, is that 800,000 for basketball and then 21,000 for football? Because I would say that's a problem, right? Overall.
Well, I'll say this: Ryan hadn't been too shy about saying we don't have the funds that, at least conference wise, we're like middle of the pack, I think,
Yeah.
on the football side of things. So I would say a majority of that, I don't know if it's only 21 going to football, but a majority of it, I'm sure, is basketball related.
Yeah, that was definitely more arbitrary numbers, but I do think it's a situation where basketball is carrying the load. And it's probably been that way since NIL kind of came about as more of like a prominent thing. Ryan tells these kids straight up, like, if you're coming here for NIL, like, this is the wrong school. It's just not, that's not really a thing here. And I actually tweeted that, talking about how Memphis does have an NIL problem. And there may have been a player that liked it. So it's former player now, but
On the football side,
who's to say?
I'm going to take that as a yes. Interesting.
I mean, it's not like a situation.
Is it? Let me ask you this then: from a broader, is NIL ruining college athletics?
No, probably not.
To an extent, the kids deserve to get paid.
Yeah,
but I don't think everybody saw it playing out this way.
Well, hear me out. Like, the top guys were more than likely already getting paid. It was just under the table, and pretty much the only people that knew about it were the players. I would say the staffs, either the landing staff or the opposing staff. They got wind of it, right?
The bagmen,
the handler type of guys. They all knew about it. So all we're doing is putting this out in front of everyone, right? And just making it clear. So I'm all for kids getting money, dude. If you can make money off of being in a commercial or whatever the hell they're doing to make money, then, like, all for it, dude. I would. I can't fight that at all.
No, I'm all for them getting paid too. It's just, I don't know.
So
I don't know where we're at. I don't think it's ruining the game. I think they deserve to be paid, but it's kind of a madhouse right now, right? Like, it's just wide open free agency across the board. Like,
I do think there should be a cap on it, right?
Yeah.
It does seem like, and some schools are doing this. Some schools actually have a big enough collective where they can just say every kid gets $5,000. Something like that.
Right. That's what, like,
arbitrary numbers.
SMU doing something like that, where every athlete gets, like,
Correct.
I don't remember what it was, but it was like 32,000 or something.
Yeah, whatever it was. It was SMU is who I was referencing. They're one of the schools. I think Miami was another, where every kid on the team is getting a lump sum. If you're obviously the star quarterback, you're the star running back, whatever,
you're gonna
get other deals outside of that as well. But everyone should get that one standard deal type of thing. I just don't know how many schools have that. Right? Are you going to commit to Memphis?
Like yeah.
Are you going to commit to Memphis for $3,000? Let's say they break it all up. Again, I'm making up numbers, but are you going to commit to Memphis for $3,000? Or are you going to take a shot to go be third or fourth string at SMU, where you're going to make out 3 times that, 4 times that? So I think that could change things.
Well, we'll see. It's going to be interesting to see how it changes over the next, like, 18 months, 2 years. I mean, even I think it was John Martin read an article about it, that the people paying and footing those bills, I think, are starting to get a little not just
the ROI,
Memphis, but just well, that, and I think there's no you're not signing a 4-year contract for a kid, right? That's going to be here and stay here. It's literally a one and done for everybody, pretty much. Everybody's signing a 1-year deal, and they'll just pack their bags and go the next year. They're just constantly rebuilding roster year after year. And it's not just here, it's at every school, in every sport, basketball, football. It's a revolving door,
right?
Yeah.
It's that way in coaching, right? So I think if you are, we'll say Ryan, if you're Ryan Silverfield or you're Penny Hardaway, and you have a good year this year and someone else comes next year and says, hey, we'll triple your salary. You want to come here? Are they not supposed to leave because they're under contract? I mean, they get to leave
Yeah.
at any time, right? So why can't kids leave? Why do they not get that type of freedom?
No, I get it. It's a double-edged sword for sure.
I'll tell you what, on the topic of NIL fund, I don't know if you remember. I can't remember the guy's name, honestly. He was a basketball player for Miami. I'm pretty sure it was basketball. He's committed to Miami. He gets this money, and then all of a sudden he's like,
and then he was like, "Yeah, I'm
transfer.
not."
Yeah, he hits the transfer portal. Something like that. Does he get his money in that situation? Because I feel like if you're Miami, you can't. If you're John Ruiz or whatever that guy's name was, you can't take it back because it's not indicative of him playing for Miami to get that money. So there's some loopholes and some interesting things that I think they got to get figured out.
Yeah,
definitely needs to be
like
a cap.
It'll be interesting to see what happens over the course of the next season or two and how it changes. Anyways, Arizona was the highest bidder for Jaden Bradley, so we missed there, but we did get a commitment from Jalen Young, point guard out of UCF, hit the portal, 6'2", 175 out of Dallas. He'll be a junior, I think, so 2 years of eligibility left. Average 4.5, 2 and 2 on the season. Had a weird year down there in Central Florida. I think he started the first 8 or 9 games for them at point guard. While was it Isaiah was hurt? He was out there starting point guard. I think he led them to like a 6-2 start. Played very. I mean, I feel like he started out the year pretty solid at point guard for them, but then just kind of was like up and down throughout the rest of the year. Started a couple games later, I think 4 games, one including that double overtime victory against us, where he put up 7 and 3, I think. Yeah. But ended up having kind of a more limited role down the stretch. Kind of has a weird road to where he's at right now. I think he was unranked, unrecruited, really coming out of high school. Ended up going like a JUCO route, prep school route, I think. And then from there, ended up he was supposed to go to Grambling State, I think, and got his scholarship taken away last minute because a senior ended up coming back or something. A starter came back.
Yeah.
So anyway, I've watched some, like, I'll be honest, and I feel bad. There's an article in the Daily Memphian, where he's talking about people already doubting him before he even steps on campus. And I got to be honest, I fall into that crowd. His numbers where they're at don't excite you by any means necessarily. Like, so I'm in that crowd. Like, I wasn't even giving the kid a chance. I'm gonna give him a chance. I'm glad to have him. Payne says to me, the head of the snake of the press. I'm all for it. Let's get after it. The kid wants to win basketball games. That's all I want. Just give me some winners on the court. Give me we guys, not me guys. You feel me?
All right, let me know when you're done. Okay. The dude averaged 6 and
TJ, you can't
3.
look at the numbers. You gotta look at what's right here.
No.
Does he have that dog in him?
He may, and I'll give him that. He may have just had a bad situation. We've seen time and time again where a guy's been at one school and he's just kind of been a whatever. He goes somewhere else. He's been great. Yeah. Hopefully we see that in Caleb Mills, right? It's these reclamation projects that we're kind of picking up that I'm just kind of like, it's not, and I hate that it comes back on Young, right? But it's kind of like, can you not do better? Is this more like an insurance policy?
That's what I'm saying. That's why I was asking if we have an NIL problem. Like, is that the best? I hate to say it that way, but is that the best we can afford?
I don't know if we paid anything for him.
But then the other part of me is like, well, that's what you can afford if you can't pay somebody something. That's what your budget can take. But then the other part of me is what we just talked about. Like, I'm doubting the kid before he even plays a game in a Memphis uniform. I don't want to do that.
I'm sure he'll be fine, right?
No, I think he's going to be good.
I'm not going to come
He's
out here and say he's
serviceable.
trash. He's 6'2". He's shown that he can do it in minutes. I mean, I think it was like 6'3" and 3 in
He's athletic. He can get to the
22
rim.
minutes.
He shoots fairly. I think he shoots like 36% from three. Like,
Oh, I don't remember it being that high.
let me double check it.
Regardless, I mean, I get your point.
38.
He is very serviceable.
35.8%.
What are the attempts?
It was only 1.5 attempts a game, but that's in limited minutes. He only averaged 19 minutes a game. And I think a large part of that being 19 minutes was because he started he started 14 games or something down the stretch. Later in the year, he wasn't getting a ton of run. He also said, I feel like confidence is so important in basketball. And I mean, he mentioned in that Daily Memphian article, there were times he was like questioning himself on things that he would have never thought about playing previously. You know what I mean? Like he was just out there doubting playing and just thinking too much. And that's never a good spot to be in, right? You just want to go out there and just ball, just play your game, be comfortable. And he's basically said like that's what Penny sold him on, is the freedom to play how he wants to play and be the head of the snake on the defensive side. So like if that suits him, by all means, like he very well could come and have a tremendous breakout year and be like a, dare I say, all conference type of baller. Am I getting ahead of myself, Deej?
Perhaps.
I've been
for the
day
stars.
drinking, so let's just
shoot for the stars. No, he's gonna be fine. He'll be fine. Literally, he'll be fine. Let's just get that out of the way. Don't set your expectations.
You think we still need another guard?
Yes.
I'll say this for those of you, and I put this in the Discord. You guys very well know by now that we are big fans of the sausage maker over at Bartorvik. Jalen Young and Jalen Bradley, if you added them to our roster, had the same exact effect rankings wise. And you know what that was? Zilch. Nada. They didn't move the needle at all. Not like our boy Arkansas Dirk, who threw us 23 spots up or whatever it was. 15 spots up. I don't remember what it was. Got us to top 30 though.
That doesn't even make sense. How do they not? Like Jaden Bradley, how does that not shoot you up? I don't know. Whatever. I'm not talking about that guy.
Bartorvik does not like Bradley at all whatsoever.
Yeah.
Doesn't like him a bit, which is strange because there are other metrics out there that, like, Evan Maya loves him. They had him as a top 10 transfer in the portal.
Perfectly fair. It's probably where I would have put him.
Did not care for the young man at all. Didn't like his game. So, depending on who your basketball analytics website favorite is, Jalen Young and Jalen Bradley are the same baller, at least by Bartorvik's standards. So you may not have missed out on Bradley and got Young instead.
I am curious, and this kind of plays hand in hand with what we kind of briefly talked about with NIL. Like, is there a certain ROI that you're kind of looking for? I know it's kind of hard to gauge that, right? Like if I'm going to pay $350,000 for a guy, I want it to be a guy who can get me, a 20 and 10 guy, something outrageous, something like that. That's a lot of money, right? Especially for a 1-year rental. So,
yeah.
I'd be curious if there was kind of like the juice isn't worth the squeeze type of thing. Like,
I think that definitely comes into play. You get a kid that you really want, and then somebody's offering him something, and he comes back to you and says, "Hey, I want this." You got to be like,
"Nah, dude, hit the road."
Really worth that? Yeah. Maybe not.
Especially,
our offer. We're sticking with it.
Especially like we're still, what is today? The 8th? We got 3 more days for someone to hit the portal?
Well, yeah. 3 days.
2 days, whatever.
No, you got 3. You got the 9th, 10th, and all.
Yeah,
You get
yeah,
to
yeah.
enter all the way
Definitely.
up to 11:59 p.m. on the 11th. By
There's
the
plenty
way,
of time.
what is that? Does it go to midnight Eastern?
I think it's Eastern.
I mean, there's got to be an exact cutoff, right? Or is
Seems
it
a little
location
unfair.
based? If you're an East Coast kid, can you travel out to the West Coast and buy yourself 3 more hours?
That's a good question.
I don't think it works that way. So, Teach, you think we still need another guard?
Definitely, only because, like, I mean, we kind of saw this last year with. Now, maybe last year's not the best example because you had 2 point guards that were somewhat injury prone. Kendrick, I felt like hit the court every game in some form or fashion. Alo has had this
He
ankle
did.
injury for so long.
He did always come back out, though, pretty much.
Sure, but there's always that moment of uncertainty, and I don't think they had another guard going back. And we talked about this, right? I think
Yeah.
it was 2 years ago we saw Tadarius Jacobs come out because you were so thin at guard. You didn't have enough guy, and now you're telling me that we picked up a guy who is serviceable. I don't think he's going to be otherworldly. I don't expect him to start. I think they're probably better off just running Mills at that point.
You don't think
but
the head of the
we'll
snake
see.
is going to be a starter?
Maybe. I mean, who's to say? Penny does some wild stuff, dude. I can't.
Is there 2 heads
I
to
don't know.
that snake?
There could be. Who's to say?
What kind of snake do you think it is? It's like a cobra.
No, it's too cliche.
Cobra Kai. Maybe a corn snake.
Yeah, that's probably more of a corn. A garden snake. Coral snake.
Oh.
Hey, dude, freaking my point was that yes, you need more. You need another guard, right? Go out there and grab this dude from Marshall that just came out, Andrew Taylor.
Gosh, don't get me excited. It's not happening.
I know it's not.
Word on the streets is it's Ole Miss.
Probably.
Speaking of your 350, word on the street is they offered him 400. But I saw Andrew Taylor hit the portal, immediate. Penny, reach out. I want him. Kid averaged 25 and 5, shot 42% from the field, 36% from 3, 80 from the free throw line.
That's all right.
Baller shot caller.
I mean, that's just an example, right? I'm not actually saying go and grab him, but my point is, oh, yeah, I mean, yeah, he's probably the best guard out there right now. But my point is more so you need someone else, and there's plenty of guys out there, right? I don't think you, and I hate that I'm saying this, I don't think you should settle on Jalen Young if there's other guys out there that have shown that they can be more productive than Jalen Young. Does that make sense without sounding like rude as hell?
No, I think you're right.
Just making sure.
I think we would all feel much more comfortable if we added another guard. Obviously, we still need a center. Still have no word on Malco. So right now, I think you pencil in Chandler as your starting 5. And speaking of 5s, there's not a real big selection left. That's who right now, at least on 3, is the number 1 available center that's left.
Is it Musa?
Yeah. Which
I
word
think
on the
about who's out there.
Speaking of Ole Miss, there's also rumors he's going to Oxford. Which, if you're keeping track here, Jamarian Sharp just committed to Oxford like a week ago. So are Sharp and Cisse going to be playing together down there, or is old Slick Rick?
It's an insurance policy, my dog.
Making kids flip. I would take Jamarian Sharp right now.
Yeah, I would definitely take Jamarian Sharp right now. I tell you what,
how much better would you feel right now if roster as is you just added Sharp?
How much better would I
Still,
feel?
you still want a guard?
Yeah, I want a guard root. I
No
want a
matter
guard
what.
regardless.
Yeah. I think I would.
Guard regard.
I think I'd feel pretty good if you added Sharp. I mean, I think you're going to add more guard wise, but I think just adding Sharp, I'd feel a lot better. Let me see what
What's
adding
that?
Sharp does on the sausage.
I was say,
maker.
what's the sausage maker say? I mean, you say there's not enough out there at center. I think there's enough for you to work with. Honestly,
I'm talking like true make a difference, though.
well,
This sausage maker, I hate this thing because he's committed
you
to
don't.
Ole Miss.
We love the
I mean,
sausage.
you're right, I do, but
You telling me Aziz
committed to Ole Miss.
Bondiago isn't going to be a difference maker for us? All right, get out of here. My point is, regardless of where you land at big man, I think you still need this. You need another guard, and it doesn't.
Yeah,
I have talked myself into Caleb being a serviceable point guard, right? I would feel better about the season if he is an ancillary guard more so than an actual point guard. But like
he's
whatever,
going to be more of a 2 with Young being the 1.
and I'm okay with that. That's what I want. Just not Jalen Young.
It's not letting me add him. I'm telling you, that's why I hate this thing. It says add anybody to your roster, and you just type in their name with their current team, and it should add them, and it doesn't add them.
Oh, Trey.
But I'm assuming you go from 50. If Connor Vanover bumped you up to 29th, I'm assuming add Sharp is at least that. So you go from 50 to top 30.
That's sausage maker?
Yeah. Speaking of Vanover, he's still out there.
There you go. I've said I would call him.
And on 3 has him listed as the third best available center right now.
Yeah. Who are you forgetting in that group? You said 1 and 3, but who's number 2?
Bendiago.
Yeah, give me that guy.
I'm not familiar with his work from Akron.
Well, he played at Utah State or Utah Valley. I can't remember where it was.
That looks like the Akron logo, the zips. Oh,
yeah,
you're right.
He was there. He was there.
Gotcha.
It's confusing.
Gotcha. I see it now.
You add Bondiago, and we're talking processing request forever and ever and ever. Got that shiesty internet right now. What's going on? You add Aziz Bondiago, we're at 34. Okay.
Vanover's better. Goodness.
No.
Arkansas
How many
Dirt.
rebounds does Arkansas Dirt get?
I think it was like 7. I think he averaged
Bondiago,
12,
his whole job is
7.
just to rebound.
I'm pretty sure Arkansas Dirk was 12, 7, and 3.5 or whatever.
They're not calling him. He has zero swag.
And
This is the
would
thing.
not
If you're going to be on
occasional
Penny's team, you
three.
got to have a little bit of swag, just a little bit of swag. You can't just be that guy. You can't be the goofy white guy out there. You got to have a little
What did you
swag, a little
say
sauce
San
to
Diego
you.
took us to?
34.
Yeah, Vanover makes it 31. Not a huge difference there.
Not a huge difference. I don't know. I'm also curious, and I haven't spent the time to look at this, but I know that Western Kentucky has a couple of guys that are in the portal. I'm curious if Slick Rick, does he want to be called Slick Rick anymore? Can we clear that
I don't
up?
know. But do we really want some Western cats? Oh, wow. Bendiago 11.5, 10.5.
7-footer. That's a big boy.
Hey, he shot 33.3% from 3. Is that because he took 3 threes all year and made 1? Is that what happened?
Okay, you're nitpicking at this point.
I'm just
He
asking. I don't.
he was 5 of 15 from 3. Okay.
That's not terrible.
It's not good, but yeah, it's not great. That's not what I'm asking him to do. I'm asking him to sit there and block shots and be 7 foot down in the paint and
What do you
grab
average
every board.
block shot? They average 3 blocks a game.
3 blocks. That's pretty good. It's definitely respectable there.
Have we reached out to San Diego?
I believe so. My man doesn't make free throws though, so internally,
I mean, you're not. We're not getting the center that's making free throws. So I'm not worried about that.
I want to say I looked
it
into
doesn't
this
matter
and we
who-
have reached out.
I don't. It doesn't matter what position we get. They're probably not making free throws wearing a Memphis jersey. So that's just life as a Tiger fan.
Here's the problem with Bondiago is that he is 7 foot tall and he's going to be everyone's commodity. Like if you told me his list of teams was going to be
bad at free throws, 64%. I mean, that's bad, but it's not.
Oh, we have reached out.
All right. Well, here's hoping we get one of those 3. Shoot, 4 is Alexis Yetna. I didn't realize he hadn't committed somewhere yet. Although
Offers nothing.
I take one. Give me Musa, Bandiego, or Banover first. That's like 3 7-foot guys, basically.
All right. So, long story short, we need a point guard and a center still. This is like the 6th week in a row we've said this.
You got 3 days left to enter the portal. NBA withdrawal is May 31st, right? So you got just over 20 days.
Is that right?
I think it's the 31st. You gotta withdraw by the 31st. And we still don't know what the heck. I guess we just chalk it up as Mikey and JJ are coming, since I think at this point, if they weren't, a decision would have already been made.
I don't know that to be true.
I mean,
I think Penny likes this.
Likes what? This waiting game?
Yeah. No. I think he likes sticking to his dudes.
I know, but then you're just going to be in a world of scramble come June 29th if he's convicted and, heaven forbid, has to do like 18 months in prison or something.
Okay, well, what if he's not convicted? What if everything is dropped? I mean, he's talented. I don't think anyone's doubting that he's talented, but I think the issue comes.
You said it 15 minutes ago. Is
the return on investment?
No.
Yeah.
Is the juice worth the squeeze?
Correct.
And I know your thoughts on Mikey. Your answer is no.
That's my general concern. It's like having a Memphis kid on the roster for Memphis, right? If he's not playing, his family's chirping, people are chirping, people who know him around the city are chirping, saying, why isn't he playing? He should leave. They get in his ear. Mikey's got like 3 million followers. If you don't play him, every one of them is going to be like Twitter fingers, dude, coming straight at him. So for me, I'm out, but he is definitely talented. So maybe Penny really sees something there.
Yeah, I don't know. I just wish we had a clear answer one way or the other.
I think we'll get one.
Just don't like this waiting game. Oh, you'll eventually get one. Yeah.
Yeah. Today's the 8th. We're talking sheesh. I mean, okay. We're going to have openings. We can pick someone up and add them to the portal. I mean, heck, June, July. I mean, when was it when we added
even into August?
Amani? July? We added Amani in July?
No, bro, school had started. You were on the freaking school database looking to see if you had an email. That was late August. Maybe
I can't remember when it was. It was way on.
I mean, you went in the freaking, what do they call it? The blue book and checked
the what?
Bates 19 at memphis.edu. What's the student directory called? I don't know. You're the one that was doing the research.
Yeah, it's the white pages, brother.
Okay, blue book, white pages, same thing.
Blue book.
That was the testing book, whatever. Essay paper.
Oh my God.
Get out of here. All right, that's enough. Penny, if you're listening, we need none of this waiting game. Yeah. Just come out. You're with them, or I guess you're with them since nothing's happened. All right. Football, not a whole lot of news. Spring
What was
practice
one
is
thing?
wrapped up. Getting into summer workout. What's the one thing?
Well, kind of. I mean, there's the FPI thing, and then there are the.
Oh,
Yeah, let's do the FPI. Let's talk about FPI.
so yeah, FPI has come out. I think we had mentioned it previously before, but according to the FPI, we are third in the conference. Tej, how do you feel about that? Is that an
It was,
accurate representation?
um,
And we're third, but not by much. We are
sure.
58th overall. Tulane is second at 55, and SMU first at 49th. So we're right there. But right there on our tail in fourth is UTSA.
I think honestly, I probably would have put us fourth in conference. And that's not to say that I don't believe on the team. I just think that you're going to have, I think UTSA is going to be better than what's projected. I think they are at 61 here now. And I don't think they've lost enough for that. I don't really understand where ESPN is coming from there. Um, I think Tulane was hit pretty hard with the um, folks jumping ship going to the draft. I think SMU has just added so much to the transfer portal that they're going to be talented. I just don't know if they can put it all together. So SMU and Memphis, I kind of see sideline. Or no, I would say Memphis and Tulane are even for me.
Battling it out for second.
Yeah, and I probably would have projected UTSA to be first, and then Memphis, Tulane,
You're
SMU,
not
really kind of messing around there.
you're not a UTSA believer though.
I'm not, but they have like a 15th year quarterback, and typically,
Yeah,
if
but
you have a talented quarterback, it kind of leads you there, right?
he's not even listed on Big Game Boomers top 50 quarterbacks going into the season, is he?
No,
There
like
were only
that's so ridiculous.
there were only two American Conference quarterbacks listed in that list. Our
Yeah,
boy
we can.
Seth Hennigan at 38th, which I think you felt was too low.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not even like I don't think it was like crazy low. I mean, I think if he was top 30 or top 35, it would be better. But 38 just seems a little bit disrespectful because she had Ewers ahead of him, and Quinn has played one season, and I mean, he had a good year.
We're also talking about a goober that just started creating lists and all of a sudden it's blown up.
Yeah, I don't really get it. I mean, some of it's pretty respectable. If like you read through the names, there are definitely some respectful names and things like that. But
What was Pratt on that? He was like 10th or something, wasn't he?
Pratt is 15th.
15th. God, we eat
And
so
he's
much
good. Like, we talked crap to him last year just to kind of mess with him. But like
so much Pratt slander from us.
freaking Dylan Gabriel is 31. Jackson
How
Dart's
is
32.
how is
I don't think
Dylan
Jackson
Gabriel
Dart's very
still
good.
how is Dylan Gabriel still playing collegiate football?
That is a great question.
What is he now?
32, probably.
I mean, sheesh.
I don't know. I think if you were to actually pull the stats on all these guys, I would be shocked at how many were ahead of Seth that had more stats or had better stats.
Better
not more
stats.
Yeah. But then you kind of have to pull in the level of
Wow, I
competition,
forgot.
and there's a lot of measurements going on
I
there.
forgot Mordecai went to Wisconsin.
That's a big one. That's great for us. We don't have to play the guy. But it doesn't really matter because they just keep bringing in P5 transfers and guys with like serious minutes. But I will say, so did we. This year, we've actually brought in a couple of guys with Power 5 minutes. So I'm curious to see how it works out for us.
What after spring ball, what do you think there's anything they need to focus on portal wise? Obviously, we added Smith at the tight end spot. Is there give me one other spot you'd want to see, maybe an addition or two portal wise?
I really don't know, man. I feel pretty good about what we have right now.
Wow. Across the board, huh?
Yeah, I'm trying to think if there's one position that I'm not thinking about.
I'm going to be straight up.
I know
And
what you're
I
gonna
think
say.
it's just because we just didn't see some of the guys we wanted to see in the spring, but like, I wouldn't hate adding another receiver.
I
Like
think that
my boy Corey Gamage hit the portal again. Call him back up. Rekindle the flame.
I think that's a sign. The fact that he is still out there and not re-signed, there's a reason no one's going after him. Little something extracurricular going on.
Look, kid deserves a third shot. Just give it to him.
Yeah, I figured you were going to say wide receiver, honestly, and it's because of the spring game didn't show much. But I honestly couldn't take much into that spring game because you had teams divvied up nonstop. Like it's not going to be a situation where Skates, Blankumsey, Towski Dove, even who we didn't get to even see out there. Um, who else am I forgetting? Rock Taylor. We didn't get to see any of those guys play all together at once, right? So you had the
Yeah.
ability to, as a defense, kind of target one guy and maybe double a guy and things like that. Like you kind of had a general idea where they were going to go with the ball and things like that. So we'll see.
Yeah. I would anticipate well, I guess we've added guys going all the way into fall camp before, but I would say any major addition would probably happen in the next couple of weeks.
I cannot foresee them adding anyone else. I think we may have a
Like numbers issue.
yeah, I think it's more of a situation where someone else leaves. Like the staff is like,
Numbers.
hey, you're best suited elsewhere. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a numbers
Um,
game. Yeah, I mean, and that wasn't me saying like I'm expecting us to get some kind of
Sure.
game changer. I'm just saying if it were to happen, you feel like that's something that happens earlier rather than later.
Sure.
In other college football news, it's actually been a couple weeks since this happened, but there's been some rules changes, TJ, heading into this season. I think 3 new rules that passed. One is no more icing the kickers. You can't take consecutive timeouts. The second is no untime. If there's a penalty on the last play of the first quarter or third quarter, does not result in an untimed down. If it was a defensive penalty, the offense doesn't get a untimed down. You are fighting that yawn back. So, I mean, I see it. You fought.
I'd already fought it back.
It's okay. You're tired. You're a tired dad. We get it. But I saw
it's like
it
the fourth one. That's the one you call out.
I just saw that one. It was great.
Earlier, I was like,
so no untimed down at first and third quarter, and then this is probably. I mean, this I think will probably speed the games up quite a bit. But no more stopping the clock on a first down, except for inside 2 minutes of the second and fourth quarter. Which, if there was any spot to let the clock run on a first down, I feel like it's inside. To me, it's like an advantage to have the ball in either a tie game or be down and only need a field goal or something in college, even if you don't even have timeouts, because all you got to do is get 10 yards and then the clock stops and you get to buy yourself some time. Like the clock should be running if you're not getting out of bounds.
I agree.
I don't know. But I think that's going to speed the games up quite a bit. That CBS SEC game that starts at 2:30 will no longer be ending at nearly 7 p.m.
Yeah, I don't mind.
Not going to get as many plays off.
Yeah, that's kind of the one thing I think that isn't going to be considered for some of these high-powered offenses that may run whatever. I'll make up a number, 70 plays a game.
Yeah, I was going to say 75.
Yeah, it's going to be down some, and you're going to think that production is down, but production is only down from a total standpoint, not from an average standpoint, more than likely. It's just games are shorter, right? And I don't think that's going to hurt anyone in terms of
would have helped us last year against Houston. Shorter game. Sheesh.
Why you got to go there?
I'm
Why
just
we got to
saying.
bring that back up?
They couldn't have made the rule change last year.
We need to grow from that.
Game would have been over 45 minutes sooner. Anyway,
Yes,
I think they're fine. Again, I'd prefer the clock to keep running even inside 2 minutes on first downs. But I am interested to see how much shorter that ends up making games. I think if you can get them closer to a 3-hour mark, that's probably ideal.
Yeah. And that's their overall goal, right?
Yeah.
People have kids. You know how hard it is to keep a kid in an entire game?
Oh, yeah. I tried it last year. It didn't work.
No.
We got there late. It was just me and the young one. Got there late and then left at halftime.
I remember
Made it about a quarter and a half.
And someone asked me how old your daughter was. And I was like, what? And I realized I think they thought we were gay dads.
We were just dadding it up together.
Yeah, I looked over. I was like, hey, how old is she? Like, I don't even know. When was she born? I don't know.
Well,
July something. Early July. 3rd.
Here's to us, the dads.
That's life, dude.
All right, TJ, only one other thing to mention. I'm repping the Tigers baseball uni tonight because they got their first conference sweep in 10 years this weekend. Won all 3 games against South Florida. And not only that, they've been sitting in last place in conference, and that bumped them up to 5th in the conference. Now, there's only 8 teams in the American in baseball.
Sure.
But they'd been sitting in 8th place. Got the sweep over South Florida, and they are sitting in 5th place right now.
Yeah.
So, I think they're on a 5-game win streak right now. I want to say they're like makes them 5 games above 500.
Do you know how hard it is to not sweep one team in 10 years?
I saw that, and it didn't feel accurate. Like, it felt like somebody made a typo because I mean, given where the baseball team was,
sure,
I know that it was possible, but reading it did not seem like that was something that could be real. 10 years not sweeping a team.
Well, so there are good baseball teams in the American, right?
There are.
Like East Carolina's good. I think UCF is good, and Memphis has not been good.
Houston's been good. Yeah, I mean,
I have a feeling that USF is not good. I have a feeling they're not good. So how have you not swept at least them? But I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know the history of any of the other American baseball teams, but it's just like it feels like 10 years. That's a long time.
Anyway, that's the thing. It's
shout out to the baseball
longer
team.
than the Americans' existence, right? Yeah.
We're right at the Americans started in 2013. We're right at 10 years.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah, I think so.
I don't know.
Anyway, shout out to Coach Jackson, what they're doing over there.
Yeah, I'm all for it, dude. As long as they have, winning,
who they have this weekend. Oh, they play State tomorrow night, Tuesday, in Starkville, and then at number 14 East Carolina this weekend. Let's make it back-to-back conference sweeps and knock off the number 14 team in the nation 3 times. Let's get that going.
I will say, in terms of, for those that care about like collegiate baseball, it's only going to get better, right? I think the teams that are moving into the American
go up from where you were, to be honest. It was either stay at that level or go up were your 2 options.
Yeah, like, let me look this up. Charlotte, I think Charlotte has a good baseball program, do they not?
You couldn't pay me to tell you what the Conference USA baseball teams are like.
Oh, okay. Well, we know Rice is there, and Rice is good at baseball. They've always been good at baseball.
Yeah.
Well, I know, but that's my point. Is you're adding teams that are good at baseball from another conference. Okay, Rice is
UT,
not that good anymore. Times have
UTSA is
changed.
UTSA appears to be good. They're 36-12 this year. Charlotte is good. Well, they're okay. 24. They're about like we are. FAU is 28-20. Yeah, Rice has fallen off. They used to be a top tier. And then, did you know Dallas Baptist competes in Conference USA for baseball?
I've never heard of Dallas Baptist, Trey.
Neither, but they are apparently good, and they are 20-4 in Conference USA. That is their conference record. So
Baseball's one of those wild sports, man.
they got a ball club down there about Dallas Baptist.
You can be at like freaking Ouachita Baptist and just be incredible at baseball, and you'd rather go there than Arkansas for whatever reason, kind of situation. Baseball is just a weird one like that.
It is. It's a scholarship thing. All right, Teach. Let's get into this air bath.
It's good. I liked it. I went to read about it, and they was talking about like. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say this is a good brew. I really enjoyed this. Is this seasonal for them? I don't think this is a year-round brew, right?
I don't think so. I've never actually heard of this one.
What were you going to say? You read about what?
So I read about this beer. It's let's get to the good parts here. Strong notes of grapefruit zest, Aperol spritz, and tropical popsicle wash over you in waves, and a crisp, dry finish leaves you feeling as though you've stripped down your skivvies to let it all air out. It's hot out there, folks. Go ahead, embrace your inner nudist, have an air bath.
I'm going to be honest. Most of what you just said, I did not get out of drinking this beer. What was it? Grapefruit? I did not. Did you get grapefruit in there?
I didn't get any grapefruit, man. I don't know.
I don't know that I even got any tropical. It just was a nice brew.
I get some tropical. I think that comes with the session part.
Okay, yeah. But I
didn't feel like.
I guess I can see
taking an air bath.
Now it does.
Tropical popsicle.
Yeah, I got it.
Speaking to you, dude.
It is now, and I after that last one, I see where the grapefruit comes in. But I would not have, had you not said that. I don't know that my first response would have been, "You can taste grapefruit."
I'm looking at this can. I don't know what the hell is going on. Like,
there's like a hand with going through spaghetti. That's what that is,
spaghetti?
Right?
I don't think so. I don't know what that is.
Yeah, I can't tell what's going on, but I love the color of it. I'm a fan of the look. I'm going to go... I
feel like this can requires drugs.
This can was made under the influence of drugs. I'm going to go 7-1 on the can.
Okay, wow. You really like the can. I just don't know what the hell's going on. I'm going to be honest. I just don't know what the hell's going on. I see the hands randomly pushing through. I'm going to go like a 5.9, and it's mostly because it's got cool colors. Like I like that, like that pop of color right there. I just don't know what the hell I'm looking at.
Gosh, you know what we should have done? The beach within reach, since I'm down at the beach.
Well, they changed that one so much.
They still have the original, but yeah, now you can get it with certain kicks like peach and watermelon and different flavors. I think there's a grape one even. Now you got me like second guessing the.
Go with your gut. Just let it speak.
Score I gave.
I will give this a 7.6 beer.
I'm looking online, and the picture they have for the air bath makes much more sense given what you read about nudity. It's a guy it looks like Benjamin Franklin, to be quite honest with you, holding a towel over his back, and he appears to be naked. I mean, you can't see the front side, but
Yeah, I see that. That does make more sense. Yeah, I don't know what's going on here. I like the beer though. I'm gonna give it a 7.6.
If I had another one of these, I could take it down. I would drink.
Yeah, it's good, man.
Especially here and sitting on the patio. What'd you say, 7.6?
Yeah, I like it, but yeah, I'm not.
I was gonna go like 7.8.
Okay.
I like it. It's a good brew.
Definitely have multiple of them. The one thing I would get worried about is I wouldn't want like 3. I think the way I'm gonna start looking at this is if
two would be your limit.
Yeah, if I could have 3, then it's probably gonna be in the 8s. If I could have like 3+, it's probably gonna be in the 9s. But I think if it's like a 2 beer and then I'm like, nah, I gotta switch it up. I think that's gonna be in my 7s, and then from there on out, I have like a little window and how I'm gonna move these things. It's like a 7.6. I could have like 2.5, but then that I'm like, all right, I'm over it.
Yeah, no, I think that's a good call. I think 2 on this would be tops.
Look at you,
definitely more than 1.
Enjoying IPAs. They're branching out.
No, I like sessions.
I have a weird one next week. We're not going to talk about it just yet, but let's go with that weird one.
Oh, there's no way I could have done that one tonight, given what we had for dinner, and I could not have done it.
Yeah,
you guys will have to tune in next week to see what we're talking about. But there's a 0 chance I would have been able to do that. I would have, if you just said that was what we were doing, I would have told you we weren't recording. Anyway, so tune in next week to see what beer we're talking about, because it will be an adventure. I can guarantee you that.
To say the least.
So come with a cold beer, stay with hot takes. Peace.
If you enjoyed this episode of Tigers Untapped, leave a rating and a review wherever you download your podcasts. Like and subscribe at Bluff City Media's YouTube page. Head over to www.bluffcitymedia.co for a comprehensive coverage of Memphis sports.